Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3. And guys, I think I have an addiction. I think I have a problem because I cannot get enough Malta. I swear, I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know why every time I see this Civ on the ladder, I start to tingle a little bit, but I just love watching this Civ. Okay, granted, I only really like watching it with high-level play. Watching low-level Malta is like nails on a chalkboard, and I was trying to think of an analogy, okay? I was trying to think, like, how can I make you guys understand it? And the analogy I'm going to use is potato chips, okay? Think about Brits, right? You got Brits. Okay, that's the standard potato chip. It's always going to be good. You can always pop open a standard bag of Brit and be like, okay, I see what you're working with here. But you know what? It gets kind of boring eventually, right? Oh, manners, villagers, musketeers. Wow. And then, you know, you get like a Civ like Germany, right? That's sour cream and onion. You're like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of zest here. Ooh, war wagons. Doppelsodners. But then eventually you get sick of that too. And then you got like Inca, which is like the ketchup flavored chip that nobody likes except a couple of guys, and they won't shut up about it. And then you got Malta, and Malta, man, they are the salt and vinegar chip. They are for the refined class of people. You put that in your mouth and you go, oh, I don't know if I like this or I hate it. I don't know if I want to eat the whole bag or never touch it again. And so that's why I like Malta. But anyway, let's dive into the civilization intros in the south of the map, playing in the color red as Malta. We got Moonsun. Dude, this guy is a very fantastic multiplayer. Top 50, plays a lot of Malta along with a lot of other civs. See how many times I can say Malta in the first 3 minutes of the video. Malta, 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 Malta. And we do get the market start on unknown maps. So this is actually going to be really good. He can go for the early trading post, get hunting dogs and the house, and he's really not going to dent his age up time. We'll see if he goes for 15 or 16 bills. It's looking like 16. And so we're going to see a pretty standard Malta age up and a pretty standard Malta deck, honestly. We do see the de-reddened towers, which is not always a card you see in a lot of Malta decks. And a lot of age 4 stuff, actually, more than I'm used to seeing. But other than that, pretty standard. And then in the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the United States. This is a matchup I don't think I've ever featured on the channel. We have a Chinese player, also very high level, top 50. I don't know if I've ever casted him. And I'm not going to even try to say his name because I don't want to be offensive. So I'm just going to say the United States player. Maybe somebody in the comments below can let me know phonetically how to say it. And that market is going to be good for USA. I don't think it's going to be quite as juicy as it will be for Malta. And he's going to go with the French immigrant start, which I don't see a lot of US players going into. I see a lot of Chinese immigrants or straight into Dutch immigrants, or a lot of people going for the capitalism, right? The coin trickle. But I love the CDB start. I think it's really strong for the USA, and I think it's still really viable. So I'm glad to see people still using it. And again, like I said, this guy's top 50, Moonsun's top 50. So we're talking about the best of the best here. We are not playing around. And he's also going to send Dutch immigrants as well. So he's going to pile 2 age 1 immigrants cards. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hamiltonian economics right away since he's already got the market. Maybe he wants to save that, but he's going up with Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, what is Moonsun going up with? He's going up with that quartermaster. Very, very standard. And gathering... Oh, no, wait. That was a sheep he used to scout. I was like, no, there are sheep on this map. Okay, I'm wrong. I was going to say he's gathering up a lot of sheep. He's got 5 sheep here. Not quite viable enough to warrant a livestock pen, but it's going to be a nice boost of food for him as they fatten up. And then German tongue coming in. So we're not going to be seeing any Expo Pike here in H2, which is actually my favorite Malta build. I love a good Expo Pike rush. We're going to see more of the German tongue boom. And he's actually getting this in at a pretty good time. It might even arrive before the age up. Doesn't quite look like it, but that commandery wagon's going to be coming out very, very soon. And we're going to see, does he go for something a little bit more boomy, a little more turtley, or does he go for the Malta tentacle strategy, which is just envelop the map, put commanderies and fix guns, everywhere. The first commandery is going to be defensive, so no forward pressure. I think that's smart against US, and it looks like our United States player is going for the opening stable. Nice play. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. We do see Philadelphia Convention, so a little bit boring right now. Come on, where's my salt and vinegar? I want the sting on my tongue. Don't take that the wrong way. Let's see. What does Moonsun got? He's got 700 wood. Okay, training settler wagons. I want to see what he's going to go for here. There's a lot of opportunity on this map to really bottle your opponent in, right? There's a lot of open space, a lot of space that you could place commanderies. You could start claiming these peripheral coin mines, which would be really good. It would really cripple USA's mid to late game. He is going to have safe hunts, and he does have water potential. And it doesn't look like Moonsun, doesn't have a water deck. Lionheart would be fuming right now if anybody cared about his opinion. Love you, buddy. And, going with the church as well, getting his market upgrades. And let's see what this next card is. Okay, so Wignacore coming in. So we are going to see the full boom, and I would not be surprised to see him macro for H3 pretty quickly. Ooh, a second commandery. How do I feel about that placement? I like it because it secures a hunt and a coin mine, potentially two. I don't like how defensive it is. I think if you're going to start putting down commanderies, you want to claim the front of the map first and then work your way back. Because what is the United States going to do against an early commandery, right? I mean, Minutemen are not going to bring down a commandery on their own. And so I think it would be a safe thing to do. But Wignacore going to come in now. Maybe he just wants that, maybe he wants that bonus for the gathering of his villagers once he sends them up here. But I mean, he's not going to really be needing these resources for some time. So we'll have to see. United States player is going to be getting the state capital wagon, does have the church, and no Hamiltonian economics yet, though I would be very shocked not to see them come in very quickly. Building a bit of a turtle shell around his base, and his herding has been absolutely fantastic. Look how many deer he has under his TC. Okay, this is the old Zuda box theory, guys, right? The theory goes is you should be able to make a box with your left mouse cursor, and you should be able to fit all three resources within that box, right? So coin, hunt, trees. Look at how many resources are sitting in this box. All right, if you're a new player, you want this box, okay? Everything in this box. And if you're a really high-level player, maybe you want something closer to this box, right? But a third commandery going down for Moonsun, and now we're starting to get a little bit greedy with the placement, going up to H3 with the bishop, which I think that gives the extra town center. I'm almost certain it gives the extra town center. And actually, Malta's TP XP progression is usually pretty poor, but because he got that TP so early and because he put down a church in so many commanderies, his shipment progression has actually been pretty solid. I think US is still getting out more shipments, though. And Hamiltonian economics still coming in. He's got a trading post. Oh, my God. Look at that fourth commandery. They are going to be next door neighbors. How does he not see that? No way. Look at that. Okay, now he sees it. All right, I was like, no way they don't see each other. But the Minutemen coming in, these guys still have 100 HP. They are American Minutemen. They are better. Oh, man, USA. And now veteran sharpshooters coming out as well. And is this, settler wagon actually taking very little damage? That's because settler wagons take minimal damage from Minutemen. And villagers in general take minimal damage from, like, Minutemen units. I always forget about that. But amalgamation and all of the late game techs coming in for America because they are all free. And, 1,000 wood coming in. Both players now in H3. We saw absolutely no H2 aggression, and we saw the Bishop TC come out of what looks to be this commandery, and he's going to immediately start claiming it. And look at the wall of infrastructure. You can see, okay, the Maltese octopus, man, those arms are starting to wrap around. It's like the ancient Kraken. All right, and United States has got to do some sort of break. Now, he doesn't have to break everywhere at once, right? He's just got to break somewhere. He cannot allow Malta to get any closer because then he's going to sacrifice his trading post. He's going to lose all water potential because he'll be cut off, and he'll even start to lose access to his third and fourth hunts, which will be dire. But we got Carbine Cavalry on the map. They've already got the Veterancy upgrade. And so, I mean, US certainly not in any trouble yet, but now we see it. The Knights of Rhodes are coming out, and we're going to see, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to see up to 18 of them come out. No, 15, right? Yeah, 15. I think it's only a maximum of 5. I can't remember. Does the Knights of Rhodes have a maximum on it? I think it does. But look at these guys. Oh my God. 330 hit points, 50% range resist, 50% siege resist. That is just insane. And you pair these guys up with veteran sentinels, and yeah, it's a lot of population, but oh man, is it a tough composition, especially for US, right? He's going to have to get out so many skirmishers to be able to quickly kite that massive units, which, I mean, it's definitely possible, but the United States economy is still fragile. He's got the upgrades, but he's only at 27 vills, and it looks like Russian-American company is now coming in. This card did get significantly nerfed. It's one of the reasons why the US kind of lost its #1 spot on the ranked ladder, and kind of gave it up to either Aztec or Britain, depending on who you ask. And this might be the perfect time for Moonsun to push in. He probably is not going to take away this town center. I thought he might be able to deny that blockhouse, but he is not going to be able to stay and fight here, taking a lot of damage, and he really wants that TC. He's going to get it! Oh my God, I underestimated the siege damage of the Hospitallers. 54 siege attack. And I mean, the Sentinels have 24 siege attack, and now that he's got this map control, he can retreat to so many areas, and these commanderies are just going to make it so hard for the US to do anything without Moonsun knowing about it. A third TC going down. Just look at the mini-map here, guys. Look at all of the red that is cropping up around the map. And now we see 39 villagers for Malta. He's got Wignacor, and he doesn't have any other upgrades on top of that, but I mean, this is starting to get scary. We're going to see double Sentinel build. We're going to see double Order Hussar, which of course those guys upgrade for free, and every shipment that gets sent is going to continue to buff those units. So Veteran Hussar with, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16% HP boost. That's actually so insane. I mean, that's a bonus that people don't remember with Malta. Now, granted, we do have a lot of veteran Carbine cavalry, so it's not like the US cannot counter this, but it's just going to get to a point where this critical mass is going to be really hard for USA to deal with. We now see a fixed gun coming out, although really nice job by the United States player. His Dragoon Micro so far this game has been pretty outstanding. Fixed gun now coming in place. We're going to see an attempted trap here with the Sentinels, but the Minutemen and the veteran sharpshooters arriving just in time with both blockhouses. So a bit of a risky fight here, but we do see the fixed gun coming in as well. There is so much building damage coming in. The Carbine Cavalry continuing to take out the Order of SARS, but these guys are so tanky. Look at this. Trying to get one before it dies. 416 HP. There's even Hospitallers. We see a villager pull as well. These guys are fleeing to the north, but the Hospitallers are finally starting to go down. And this is actually looking like a really good hold for USA. And I'm not quite sure why Moonsun decided to push in. I don't necessarily know what he was accomplishing. Maybe he gets this blockhouse, but at the cost of so many units, and expensive units at that. I just don't know if that was worth it. So a definitive win there for the United States, but the map control is still heavily in Moonsun's favor. Going to take out that blockhouse, and he's going to take out this trading post as well. No, is it actually? No, it's not in, it's within the fixed gun's range, so the fixed gun actually can't shoot this thing. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. Look at how close it is to being in range, but it's too close. The trading post, it's impossible to hit. Can you imagine being this fixed gun guy? He's like, sir, we cannot hit trading post. He's too close. I don't know why these Maltese guys are Russian, but horse artillery coming out for the United States now, and it looks like heavy cannons on the way. Oh my God, he went into H4. When did he pull that off? Oh, wow, this is looking really good for United States now. This might actually be the timing that he can bust out of the shell. Now, granted, he's really light on infantry, but he's got enough dragoons to guard these heavy cannons, and these heavy cannons will destroy any number of sentinels, and we don't really have to worry because the massive order hussars is already dead. So, as long as he protects these heavy cannons, and he's even got a horse artillery in there as well, yeah, I mean, United States really looking strong. Though he is only on 34 villagers to the 59 of Malta. Malta now quadruple queuing veteran crossbows. I actually really like that play. He's going for a really cheap, really expendable counter to the carbine cavalry. And it's going to make, you know, the heavy artillery are still going to do well against the crossbows, doy. But it's just not going to be as cost effective, right? Because they're going to be killing a lot cheaper units. And so every shot is not going to get as much value. I mean, it's really kind of small potatoes at the end of the day, but at this high level, you know, those kinds of trades do count. And we do see culverins coming out for Malta as well. Those will not kill a heavy gun in one shot. He's going to need a third culverin, but he's already on the way there. This heavy gun is going to do really good against this low HP Minutemen. He does have quite a bit of Minutemen here. I almost forgot he had this mass. Let's take a look at this army. Okay, 2 heavy cannons, horse artillery, 4 culverins. Oh my god, he snuck those in as well. 19 veteran carbines and 22 militia. That's a scary army. And all we have are 25 crossbows and a couple of culverins, but the culverins are getting exposed by the carbine cavalry, and they do kill 1 culverin. But do they do any damage to the heavy cannons? Where are the heavy cannons? Are they still on the field, or did they get wiped out? If they got wiped out, that is a good trade. No. So all of the heavy offensive artillery is still alive. 3 more culverins coming out, and this is just the Maltese the Maltese economy really starting to come into effect. 67 bills, 3 TCs, Wignacore, market upgrades, and yeah, I mean, maybe the U.S. can brute force this, but if he loses this mass, he's not really going to have the economy to recover. And oh my god, this line of hospitals. This would be the ideal fighting location for Malta. He's got TC, he's got Minutemen, he's got his artillery foundry right here, and maybe if he can stand his units still, he can get a little bit of healing off. But now the American artillery is starting to move in, and oh my god, we have the fire throwers coming right out of the TC, and they are going to brute force the heavy cannon down. This is absolutely not the counter, but just through sheer force of will. Oh no, oh my god, that was brutal. They almost got that heavy cannon down, but oh, 4 more culverins coming out. Just when I think that Moonsun is dead, the 4 culverins come out. The 2 heavy cannons and the horse artillery get wiped. The carbine cavalry forced to move away because of the veteran crossbows. Moonsun still quadruple queuing crossbows, and now he is at the economy where he can pump these guys out ad nauseum, and there's really not a lot US can do. His really only great counter is artillery, which get matched by the Maltese culverins, and the sharpshooters, which he's really not set out to spam in large numbers. So, gonna be tough for US getting down his factory. What else does he have? Oh man, not a lot. I mean, he could send his second factory, but there's no big unit pop that's gonna save the day. Maybe Gatling guns, maybe Pulaski's Legion, but I mean, even then, Pulaski's Legion are squishy, and now I bet these Maltese crossbows have steel bolt. Yeah, okay, so they got steel bolt now too. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good for Moonsun. And this is, dude, this is what Malta does. They just brute force you down by sheer weight of expendable infantry. They're like a different flavor of Russia. They're like Russia with a better economy in some ways. And with all of the weaknesses that includes, right? Like, there are a lot of matchups where Malta just looks really dumb and loses immediately. But now we're going to see a villager poll? No villager poll. They just really need coin. And now that I'm saying that, yeah, the United States is absolutely starved for coin. These pikes really not doing much except eating up carbine cavalry shots. But, I mean, with the Maltese economy, I don't know why I can't say that word. With the Maltese economy, that's actually almost kind of a good use for them. And now villagers getting pulled in here, but it's looking really dire. The reinforcement numbers for US are just kind of pitiful. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied by the culverins. And Town Center gonna get denied Maybe, maybe not. No, it's going to go down, but it's going to get quite damaged. And now these veteran pikemen are in the circle formation. I think there's a different word for it, but you just hardly ever see that. And that cover mode does make them very, very tanky. Crossbows on the villagers. They are completely denying the coin. And let's take a look at, oh, I mean, yeah, he's got 1,000 coin, but he's got no villagers on coin right now. And as he sent his second factory, he has not. And his factory is actually on heavy artillery right now, which I don't agree with. I mean, right now it should be on coin. What is one heavy cannon going to do when you got 3 Colts here? Meanwhile, what is Moonsun doing? I'm actually surprised he hasn't macroed for his own age up into the industrial age, but I almost think he doesn't need to at this point. And there it is. Yeah, there's the call. The US player bows out. And once again, man, I got my Malta fix. I'm really sorry if you guys do not like Malta as a civ, because I feel like I've been like talking about them so much, but I don't know what it is, dude. Like I feel the same way about Malta that Lionheart feels about the Hausa player right now that's been just dominating the ladder, and how he's kind of like excited about the African civs. I'm really excited about like civs like Malta and Italy. I just want to see those guys, the Knights of the Mediterranean, because I hardly ever featured them at the start, and now I feel like I'm catching up. But let's take a look at this game in more specific detail. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, guys, here we are in the post game. I have quit my fangirling. I have calmed down. I have taken a breath. And man, I mean, the resource advantage for Moonsun, that is obscene. 18,000 resources, and that is all due to map control and Wignacore. It's such a deadly punch, and it's why you cannot let Malta claim the map. You cannot allow it to happen, because unless you just take some disgustingly good fights, there's no coming back from it. And when we look at the military, I mean, yeah, quality over quantity, and quantity wins in this instance, 234 to 130. And yeah, a lot of those were crossbows, but I mean, they're crossbows with steel bolts and veterancy upgrade. These are not like Strelets, right? These guys are actually pretty darn good, given their, like, what, 80 resource costs? Oh, disgusting. Looking at the villager count here, not actually a lot to say. There weren't really any villager raids. All of the fighting was mostly away from the main economies, but I mean, the graph for Moonsun just starts to get obscene with those 3 town centers. And I mean, the United States just never really able to recover. He was never really able to get that full boom going. He never really got that stable 2nd and 3rd town center running before they were pressured. So totally understandable why he wasn't able to get those out. And then the military unit population, we can see, again, like Malta's losses are just as ugly, but the fact is those units are so easy to replace for Malta. Meanwhile, once the United States loses that big batch with their heavy cannons and a lot of those, militia and carbine cav, there really was no big reinforcing batches. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that game. It's taught me 2 things, okay? Malta played right is beautiful. And you know what? The United States, I'm struggling to even call them S tier right now. Like, the United States is really, really looking like they took a beating from the last patch. But you can't judge everything from one game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back with a couple more matches next week. But until then, have a great day. Have a great life. Play some Malta.